All right, let's talk about making a cross contour line drawing. What I have here is my sketchbook, a variety of drawing pencils, my eraser, and the object I'm going to draw today is this apple. It's an artificial fruit. Now, when we've talked about drawing contour line drawings, we're talking about finding the shape, the outline of the objects, places where the form changes and turns, and you're finding those outlines and you're drawing them and you're refining the line to define the object that you're drawing. But what happens if you're drawing a simple form such as an apple where you really just have the outer line and nothing interior to define this shape, and you end up basically with a flat circle? What we want to do is to create the illusion of volume and form by adding what we call cross contour lines that define the way the object moves in space as it comes out towards you and recedes back again. So what I want you to do is to imagine on the object that you're drawing a series of lines that's falling across that shape. So for example, if you were to take a row of strings and flopped it across, what would it look like? Or sometimes I think about like if you see light coming through the blinds and the sunlight is coming through and is casting shadows of the lines falling across the object, what would that look like? So what I've done with this fruit is I've actually penciled in, or I've used a marker to draw in this idea of what those kinds of lines might look like. Now, please don't do this with your fruit. I want you to just imagine it as you're drawing. I just did it this way so that you can see what I'm talking about. These are lines that are going horizontally across the fruit. And then you could also imagine what the lines might look like as they go vertically. Now, how do you choose which lines you want to use to draw the object you're drawing? Well, it really depends on which lines define the shape the best. In a shape like this, it really doesn't matter. Like these lines really both work just as well. But you're going to find certain shapes are going to work better with lines that go across the form this way or across the form this way. And you're going to decide as the artist which is the best way to define the form. So if we're going to draw this apple using these cross contour lines, we're going to again start with an HB, or the hardest pencil lead that you have. So we're starting with basically the same method of creating a drawing, is to start with like a gestural, very light gestural shape. Keep your marks light and draw what you see. So there it is. Basically, that's my finished contour line drawing. Like I said, it looks like a very flat image because all we really have defining the shape is this outline. So let's add those cross contour lines to help create that illusion of volume. I'm going to start adding a few lines that kind of cut across this way. Now make sure that these cross contour lines are not arbitrary. Look carefully at the way your fruit is shaped. Like there's a little dent in this apple right here, and I'm going to define that with the way the cross contour line changes just a little bit right there. And it's a lot more rounded on this side. We might be seeing it a little bit differently from my perspective and your perspective. Now notice that just like I did with contour line drawings, I want my cross contour lines to have that same undulating line. It really adds a lot of life to the line and brings an added amount of depth. And that really just helps to emphasize the volume and the shape of the object that you're drawing. I want you to notice that there's a tendency for dark lines to recede. So I'm making my dark lines that go back a little bit darker at the tips. and light lines will tend to come forward. So here I have some slightly lighter lines right along here, and it looks like the light is kind of hitting that shape. There's a little dark area here, so it's sitting back a little bit, and here these lighter lines are again coming a little bit forward. And now I'm going to switch to the 4B pencil and create even richer dark areas to pull out some of the depth even more. And there you have it. It's a cross contour line drawing that defines the volume and the shape of the object that you're drawing.